Hi, everybody. Yes, Thursday has come around again, and today I'm in cool London in a swanky apartment in Victoria. Wow, it's beautiful, and I can't tell you how good it is to be here because it's about 13 degrees cooler than where I live. And that is such a pleasure. Well, for a short time at least. So today we are going to be talking about disarming. Yes, disarming the critics. Dismaying and disarming the critics. And if you're joining me live today, welcome on board, and do post any questions or comments that you might have in that little box down there. And if you're catching the replay, woohoo, I will get back to you soon, and you can put in your questions and comments as well, and that would be great fun too. So, how did this all start, this thought about disarming my critics? Because it's something that happens to a lot of us. We love to criticize. We human beings are so good at giving out the criticisms, aren't we? We love to put in a word here and a word there, just to give our opinion. It's called an opinion nowadays. But of course we know that opinions are very close to criticisms, and they can bother us, they can hurt us, and they can put us off track. So today we're going to talk about disarming those critics and dismissing and dismaying and disarming our critics. It's going to be fun. Are you going to join me? You're going to join in with the chat? I do hope so. So those of you who have seen the blog will know that I told a story about something that I did many years ago when I was in the theatre world. And I think you have to turn that off.
Yeah.
Sorry for the disturbance here. And many years ago in the theatre world, and it was a very exhausting and exciting experience where I put together a play and I got a fantastic team around me to develop it and put it onto stage. And it went out on the Fringe Theatre circuit, and it was good. I broke even. Hey, I broke even. So the challenges there were the comments, the opinions, the thoughts and criticisms that came from people who didn't like, didn't agree, didn't want to, or didn't like what I was doing or what I was writing, what I was putting on. And I tell you, there was a lot of them. And after the first night, there was a particularly powerful one from a fellow actor and writer, and she basically didn't like anything about the show, the writing, the acting, the story, the whole works. And she was keen to tell me her opinion, keen to tell me her criticisms. And it was tough. It was tough at the time. It really was. And I was particularly tired that night. I mean, you know what it's like? You've been working and rehearsing so hard. So what do you do in that situation? You break down, you cry, you fight back, you defend yourself, you throw loads of ammunition back. I didn't do that. And I never forget that night because I didn't do that, I learned one of the best lessons ever. I mean, I tried it before, but it wasn't always as good as it was on that night, because I was able to turn around and say to that critic, thank you for your opinion. I really appreciate that you came tonight to see the show. And I respect what you're saying, but that's your opinion. And it was basically, thank you for your opinion, but goodbye. So it was a revelation at that time to do that, because I walked away and I didn't carry any of that bad feeling. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. How can we deal with and handle all the negatives that we get about our work, about our creative ideas, about the books we write, the articles we write, about the way we speak, about the products we make, about every single thing that we do that we may hear criticisms about. What do we do about it? So I thought about this topic quite a lot, and I know that it's something that everybody experiences. Everybody receives criticism about their work. Everybody receives bad words, negative comments, you know, and it's hard. It's hard to deal with because we get hurt. We get put off. We get the feeling that we're not doing something right, and we start to doubt ourselves. And what do you do when you're doubting? You give up. Has that happened to you? Do you know what that's like? Is that feeling of, I can't go on anymore because somebody said what I'm doing is no good, what I'm doing is not worthwhile, what I'm doing has no value. Have you had those sort of criticisms? You know what it's like? I mean, in the music business, when I was in the music business, I had criticisms quite a lot that what I was doing wasn't good enough. And particularly when I was playing in all-male bands. And there was one night when a really famous singer came on to join the band and do a couple of numbers. And he said, right, I want a solo, I want a saxophone solo in this section. And he looked around at the three of us, three-piece horn section we were, and he looked at me and he went, but not her. Not her. Dismissing me immediately because I was female and whatever else was going through his mind. And the guy, the tenor sax, said, no, she'll do a good job, she'll do a good job. And they stopped, the music stopped. And he went up to the band leader, who happened to be the drummer at the time, and said, you know, I can't work with a woman. She's never going to be good enough. She's not going to be loud enough. She's not going to be this enough. She's not going to be that enough. It was just the whole pile of things. And I could hear it all because the guy was angry. The guy was shouting. He was, you know, telling all these horrible things, criticisms about me. And I was beginning to feel the weight of that on my shoulders. I was beginning to feel pain of that in my heart. I was beginning to let the emotions run and put me off, you know. I could have run away. I could have buried my head in the ground and said, fine, you do it. You know, give it to the trumpet player, whatever. And I had the support then from the musicians in the band, which was great. And they said, no, don't worry, we're going to support you. You can do it. And I did it. And I think the singer was, he didn't say too much, but I think he didn't argue about it. He didn't criticize anymore. So I got away with that. But the thing was, if I hadn't had the support of the guys around me, I might have run away. I might have passed the opportunity on to somebody else. But it did stick in me. I was hurt. I did feel bad. I thought maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't play like this. It's probably my looks. It's probably my height. You know, how you build these up into something that's much worse than it really is. And you then let your emotions get involved and your feelings get involved and you can't control them anymore. What do? You have to, what do you do? What do you do? Anybody going to comment out there and tell me what you do? How do you handle criticism? How do you deal with all the pains and sorrows? You know, because it is really a common thing to receive so many criticisms, to get negative feedback from people that you love, from friends around you, from professional critics. Ah, yes, the professional critics, from collaborators, from fellow workers. What do you do in those situations? How do you handle negative feedback? What do you do? Because, you know, many times we shut down, we close up, we give up. We think there's no point in continuing because, after all, that's what they said. They said I was no good. They said I was inadequate. I was, etc., etc., etc. You know all those words. You know what they mean. And they start to hurt, and they dig in, and we take it out of proportion. We build it up and make it bigger than it really is. So what can we do? What can we do to solve those things? How do you handle it? Anybody going to comment on that? Not yet, it seems, perhaps on the catch-up session. Well, I mean, over the years, I have heard a lot of criticisms and a lot of negative feedback, and there have been times when it has put me off, when I haven't been able to control it, when it's given me that what's the point feeling. You know that? You've been there too? I guess so. And it stirs you, and you can often hear those phrases repeating in your mind, repeating and building up and making it even worse than it is, so that you just don't want to go on any longer. You know, when I was doing that play, I've got one of my lovely posters here. You know, did you see that at all? Blood Sisters. Oh yes, it was such a crazy story, I tell you. Forget black magic. This is pure red magic. And it was at the time. But the negative comments that, you know, could have stopped me from doing that, could have made me say, right, that's it, I'm not putting on the show, final night, no more, give up, go away, go back to the drawing board, I'm never going to do this again. That's what we say, isn't it? We just want to give up. We want to stop what we're doing and maybe never even touch it again. How many times have you done that? Have you actually stopped doing something because you had negative feedback, negative criticism? And that's it. That's the magic word. To see criticism as feedback. It's good, huh? That's really good. Feedback. So it's just letting you know what other people think, other opinions, but it's remembering that it's them giving you their opinion, their point of view, their idea of what it is. And it's just feedback. It's nothing more. So how can we actually turn that around and make it a viable thing? How can we actually make that work so that we don't carry it on board? We don't let those negative phrases stop us in our tracks, stop us from doing what we love, stop us from going forward. How can we turn around negativity? How can we be strong about it? How can we control our emotions and our feelings? It's not easy, is it? No, I'm not even saying it's easy, but it is a mindset. And that's really the key to it all. So one of the things I wanted to say, how to solve it. 3 simple things of how to solve it. And number 1 is count to 3 and look into the eyes of the person who's giving you the feedback. Really look at them. Open eyes, no sarcasm building, no defensive cursing brewing. Try and just look at that person. What are they actually doing? Just observe while you count to 3 or 10 or 5. And just observe the eyes. What is that person doing? Are they spitting out? Are they angry? Are they jealous? Woo. Have you had professional jealousy in your life? There's a lot in showbiz. There's a lot in the entertainment industry. Professional jealousy. I think there's a lot of it in every business, but you know, professional jealousy is a big thing, huh? And it might be momentary, and it might be a vendetta. But it's about looking into the eyes of the person who's giving you those negative comments. And is that person a friend? Is that person a foe? Is that person a collaborator? Is that somebody you've worked with? Is that somebody who's going to write about you, comment about you? Who is this person that's giving you the feedback? Look into their eyes. Is it somebody who's actually offering you some recommendations, some ideas for improvement, some feedback ideas and thoughts, a suggestion that could be helping you to make your product, performance, promotion, presentation stronger, better? Or is it just negativity for the sake of it? Because that person is mean, feeling mean, not your friend at all, or who just happens to like giving people in general negative feedback. So really look at that person, observe that person, look into their eyes, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, and, try to see if that person is your friend or your foe. Because what we're going to do is try to disarm. And what we're saying, hey, Helen, that's nice to see you. Christina. Oh, well, Helen's much closer than Christina. Christina's all the way over in Hotlands, and I'm not suffering anymore. Hey, nice to see you. So look that person in the eye and really do a quick sum up. Are they your friend or are they your foe? And then the second thing that I would look at is find a way to rise above those feelings, those emotions, and those reactions. Rise above it. Feel yourself actually physically rising above it. It's a wonderful feeling. It really is. Because, it's about not reacting in a personal way, not allowing your armor to shoot them back with negative words, with bad language. It's about rising above it. Breathing out, smiling at that person, looking at that person, and finding a way for you to say, thank you. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for reading my book. Thank you for buying or looking at my product. Thank you for attending this meeting tonight. Thank you. It's an easy word. We use it all the time, don't we? Lost the sound, can't hear me. Oh, I hope that will come up in the replay. So it is about rising above it, and don't let those emotions take over. Don't let it bog you down, especially at that moment when you're getting it. Here behind those words, you're back. Gratitude, kill them with kindness. That's it, Helen. That's exactly it. When I was in that situation, in that play many years ago, and this woman was really spitfiring all those ugly things at me. What a waste, what a terrible thing. How could you put on a play like that? And I just smiled at her, thanked her for her comments. And you cannot imagine what a relief that was, because I didn't walk away with the heaviness on my shoulders. I didn't walk away with the pain in my heart. And I left her gaping. What do you mean, thank you? What do you mean? What does that mean? She was really huffed and puffed about it. Now, I couldn't even be bothered to watch that. Looking back, it was, a little bit of satisfaction, I have to be honest. But the whole idea is, you kill them with kindness, as Helen wisely says. So then the third thing is actually the disarming them with the thank you. Because once you say to somebody, thank you, get it? I'm not bothered. I'm not taking the bait. I'm not going to fight you back. That's your comment. That's your opinion. Fine. Okay. Thank you. And immediately you dismiss, you dismay, and you disarm. And it leaves you with a really relaxed feeling because you didn't take the bait. And, this works really well in your personal life too. And you know how hard that is when you've got somebody close to you telling you, digging at you and saying ugly things. And that is hard, yes. Yes, we are living in a culture of criticism. Oh, thank you, Helen. Yes, they're very simple things, and I do like to look at the simple solutions first. You know, say thank you, put on that smile, look them in the eyes, disarm them with a thank you. So simple, and we're all capable. We are all capable of doing this. It's just recognizing that you can let go. You can let go of fighting back and throwing back sarcasm and throwing back critical comments and remarks. You know, I'm not brilliant at doing this, I have to admit. You know, I'm a bit hot-headed girl, as some of you know, and you know, I can fly off the handle. Somebody comes at me, I want to get them back. But you know, I do try to take my own advice too, which is being calm, listening. I tell you what, in the music, when I was doing my music, one of the things I learned was to really appreciate my ears. I've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Keep them open, keep that shut. And sometimes in those moments when you're getting physical, you know, comments thrown back at you, yeah, you just have to really close that and open those. And oh, let me tell you a story about that. Because once when I was in this big band, I was in a 24-piece, all-female big band. Oh my God, can you imagine? And so the saxophone section was over on the one side of the stage, and the trumpets and trombone were over on the other side, and in between were the rhythm instruments. But the problem was that we had a lot of our musical cues from the trombones and the trumpets on that side, and you couldn't hear them from the congas and the noise in between and the bass player looking at the drummer and all that palaver that was going on. And you really had to stretch your ears over to the other side of the stage in order to pick up the cues. So that's what it is. It's about clever listening. You know, clever, we call it selective listening, I think, but it's not, it's clever listening. You know, you listen to the words they're saying and you recognize, this is a spitfire. This person is just being mean because of whatever their reasons. Who cares? I don't care. I'm not going to analyze them either. But this person is not my friend and is not here to recommend or support or improve my situation. So words go over your head, girl. Just let them fly. So that's what I do. I really try to hold on to that hot-headed, volcanic, fiery side of myself and listen. Look the person in the eye. They can help me? No? Well, I ignore them then. So that's what I wanted to say about disarming my critics, the blood, sweat and critical side of life, because it is a bit of a bloody and sweaty situation when people start criticizing you. You either want to draw their blood or, or it makes you sweaty. What's it? Practice it with care. Yes, practice it with care. That's true. So I really want to thank everybody for being on board. Thank you for your lovely comments. That really helps, you know, to get into the argument and to feel the power of killing with kindness, as you put so well, Helen. Disarming, dismaying and dismissing your critics and getting on with what is important in your life. And that brings me round to the Power Hour. The Power Hour that I'm going to be offering this summer, which will be a great opportunity for anybody who wants to settle in and have a discussion with me about how they are handling their fears and doubts and questions about speaking up and out in public. How to step up and stand out with confidence and in a charismatic way. So if you want to work with me on that one, just put a little note below, message me or something like that, and we can get into talking about doing the Power Hour with Georgia. And if there is any other question that you want to ask me, is there any other questions going on? Not at the moment. Yes. Well, I really appreciate it. And if you're catching the replay, you know, just stick your comments in at any stage and any time. So next week, I shall be filming from another beautiful location as I continue my travels in August, avoiding all the heat and flame of Spain and moving into cooler climes where I can breathe a little bit more easy. I didn't realize how much humidity can knock you out. So I hope you have enjoyed the chat this afternoon. And it's early here in London, and really nice and cool too, as I said. And I look forward to any more comments that might come on board. So don't forget, you can also catch me on my website, georgiavargas.com, where I write a weekly blog, and you might enjoy some of those articles. So do hop in, skip in, sign up. There's a free ebook if you sign up today. And I'll look forward to seeing all of you again next week in another beautiful location where we can have a good old chat about things that matter and that will bring out the sparkle and shine in you. So have a great evening, whatever you're doing, and I look forward to that. Bye now.